In this video, we're going to replace the standard toilet in our motorhome with a new toilet, and we want to share this adventure with you. Stay tuned. Sadly, the stock toilet that came with our Thetford motorhome is basically trash. The water comes in from the back here where you can see it does not hit the front of the bowl. It doesn't hit around the sides of the bowl. So it's just a mess. And this cheap plastic seat on top, you can see where it's bent over time. No time at all. It bends and it's hard to clean. So one of the things I have to account for, there's my leak sensor. Check out our Yo-Link videos. This plumbing tube is longer on the old toilet. There's a shut-off valve here. And it's 3 inches lower where it plugs in relative to the floor. That black attachment at the top will screw in 5 inches from the floor instead of 8 inches from the floor. So that's an adjustment I'll have to make. We have selected the Dometic Model 320 as our toilet replacement. So as I mentioned, there's going to be a plumbing adjustment to make here. There is that shutoff valve that you can see behind the plumbing there. It's turned off currently. I'm going to get some paper towels stuffed in here to catch any drips that come. And I've also turned off the house water, and the water pump is off. I don't need any accidents, and my learning curve on this stuff can be messy if I don't take all the precautions. So we'll take this connection off the back of the toilet, and I bought literally all the plumbing tools. I'm going to make a plumbing video soon that's specifically around the tools that you can buy and the adapters and the fittings you can get so that you can enable yourself to do pretty much any plumbing job that you feel you're up to. So we just finger loosen this valve up here, this connection on the back of the toilet. And as I mentioned, this one's about 8 inches from the floor. The new toilet's 5 inches up from the floor. And so I'll have to shorten this piece of tubing here. I bought the cutter so it would provide a nice clean cut. I bought extra hose in case I goofed it up and had to replace it entirely. I bought all kinds of adapters and all kinds of tools that I'll go into more in another video. These toilets are just held down with a single nut on either side. We can speed through this part, but just wanted to show you the basic function going on. Once we got to the part where it might be nasty, I did get some gloves put on. We decided it would be prudent to put a trash bag down and catch any water drippings or whatever from the bottom of the toilet. It was pretty clean, to be honest. It didn't drop a lot of water here. But we'll get this old toilet removed and then carry in the new toilet and see what it looks like in place and compare the plumbing location on the back. And you'll see pretty clearly that the plumbing for the old toilet was 8 inches from the floor. The new toilet is only about 5 inches from the floor. So we have a little bit of work to do here. I did buy the tools for doing RV plumbing. Most of these are called PEX, P-E-X. Plumbing tubes and fittings and whatnot. So you can see here clearly it's too long and it's going to be bent over a little bit to the side, but this is a flexible piece of plumbing hose, so that's not going to be a problem. Hopefully, if it is, I'll change it later. But we got in there and bought we bought this cutter that makes a nice clean cut across the tubing. My fear really was cutting it too short and then having to add back to it. Rhoda had the great idea, cut it too long and then just keep making minor adjustments. So I did that. I marked a line on there, but I didn't have confidence, so I went a little higher and made that cut above the Sharpie line that I had drawn after measuring. A little bit of water in there still. Here's a close-up of that cut and then the tool that I used to make the cut. The right tools make the job way easier. Next, we're going to use this steel PEX pinch clamp, put it down over the hose, and then use the correct tool to pinch that tight once we get the other plumbing fitting inserted. So we just slide this down 1 inch or 2 onto the tubing, onto the plumbing tube here, and then we'll push in the connector that goes into the plumbing line and has the screw-on connector for the back of the toilet on the other side. Once that's in there and seated fully, we want to pull that cinch clamp up. I used a crescent wrench and adjusted it appropriately to make it easy to pull that guy back up. It was the easiest way I found to do that. Sorry that the camera is focusing on the paper towels and not on the work. I was unable to adjust that during this video. Next up, we use the ratcheting PEX cinch tool, made specifically to clamp down this connector we're using that's going to provide a tight seal. It's all made to be a part of a system that works together by design. Makes it almost foolproof, but it's my first time to use this tool. We're going to pinch that down, it squeezes it tight, and then there's a release on the tool to break it free and be able to remove the tool from the connector. It is a pretty hard squeeze to get that clamped on there tight enough that we're not going to have a leak. So after a couple more times of shortening the plumbing line there, I finally put the adapter in, checked the fit was going to be good, and tightened the bowl down to the floor really well, and then crimped that PEX connector on there really well, and plugged it in and turned on the water to do the leak test. So I have the flashlight in here just to give myself a better chance to see any water drips. It's a little bit dark behind the toilet, so the light's there just to help me see things. And as I get this screwed onto the toilet, the next thing will be to open the water valve there built into the line and watch for water to go squirting, and it didn't. Hallelujah. So, and you'll also notice a bandage. The more DIY projects I do, the more band-aids I got through. So I'm just feeling with my fingers here to see if I can sense any water coming out there. And then of course I will test the flow of the toilet, open the lid, look at the normal toilet seat. This is amazing. It's so much nicer to sit on. And you'll see water coming in all around the bowl, not just at the back. This is the first test, turning on the water, kind of peeking around the back to look for water. Water is flowing into the bowl. If we don't open the flap, it builds up. So this is going to be a whole lot better toilet for us. It's sturdier, it's heavier duty, it's a better seat, a better bowl altogether, better water flow. And an added bonus that we didn't expect, this toilet is very quiet compared to the other one. We had no idea that a toilet could be quieter or noisier. It just didn't enter our minds, but this one is very quiet compared to the previous toilet. So that's our toilet job. If this has been useful at all, please like and subscribe. Please continue watching. Tell your friends, tell your family. Thanks again.